Are we going to experience a real estate crash in Canada? Are we? Okay. I don't think so. And by the way, Canada is a very big country. Things that could happen in Halifax do not happen in Victoria. The housing market in Alberta is totally different than the housing market in Ontario. The housing market in Quebec is completely different again. But there's a bunch of signs and portents going on that must lead us to think that there could be a major correction in some provinces that is likely in full swing right now. So what are we seeing? I mean, the great 416 condo crash continues to grow and amplify. There's a story every week, every 4 days that comes across all the Toronto media about a new disaster, a new series of people losing hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. A new group of 100 people are getting sued by their developer for not closing. New levels of inventory rising. Apparently, condos went down a little bit last week in inventory, but and get this. In the TREB system, so that's the real estate board that's almost the entire all of huge GTA. It's all of the GTA and a little bit more. In that real estate system, they had the lowest sales in March in 26 years. There is roughly double the number of people in that region than 26 years ago, maybe a little more. And that was the lowest sales in 26 years. So, is it going good? No, it's going terrible. By the way, Greater Vancouver. The Greater Vancouver housing sales were in 20-year lows. 20-year lows. Now, they don't have the same kind of dire condo catastrophe that we have in 416, but it is not going well there. They never really built as many condos, and the condos that were built in many cases were built a long time ago or longer ago. They didn't have this incredible, huge wave of condo completions that are coming at us in 416, like 40,000 more coming in the next 20 months, okay? They don't have that in Toronto, sorry, in Vancouver. They don't have that in Vancouver. That's a Toronto problem. But, and it's a smaller city and it's a smaller region. And a lot of those places were bought years ago with foreign capital. And the thing about foreign capital is foreign money from China and other places, it doesn't really leave. Like the whole reason to get it here was to get it out of China. I know. There's a bunch of people going to say, "Oh, Ron, you're taking that racist tone again." Well, if I was a racist, why would the government of Canada have a ban on foreign buyers? Like, why? Tell me why. Is the government racist? Apparently not. Like they keep telling us they're not. They tell us every day. So the reality is that money doesn't go back because it wanted to get out of China in the first place. It wanted to have a safe place outside of China where their government couldn't get at it. Because in China, if you piss off your government, they just put a black bag over your head and take you away one night and all your money's gone out of your bank account. It's that simple. Okay. So they wanted to make sure that didn't happen. So they came here and they bought real estate. It's fine. So different dynamics to the market, but similar dynamics in this way. In the Fraser Valley, where there's opportunity to build, because Vancouver is there's no room. It's just got river on one side, sea on the other. Like, this just is what it is. But in the Fraser Valley, where you can build, although on a more limited basis, they had a huge run up in prices in 2021 as well, and those prices are actually dropping, and sales are becoming harder to achieve in that area. So there are some similarities, but obviously GTA is the worst. Okay, like this, I cannot emphasize enough how bad this condo situation can get and likely will get in the GTA. We're at the point where soon a building will not close. Like somebody will have finished 300 units. And 60% of the people who bought the units pre-construction will say, "I'm not going to close. Yeah, you can chase me, but I'm not going to close," because the media information is getting out there in a bigger and bigger way. And once that happens, nobody's going to close. Now, again, why are they not closing? Because they bought a condo 6 years ago for $1,400 a square feet. And that condo across the street in an older building, just a couple years older, so it's very similar, is selling for $875 a foot. Okay. And it's hardly selling, like nobody's buying it. Okay. So more and more of these people are realizing that, hey, this isn't a temporary thing where it's all going to get better in the spring. This is the spring, and it's no better, it's worse. Okay. So that's what's happening. People are starting to say to themselves, you know what? If I close on this condo, and a bunch of them can't close. They just can't get the mortgage. They never expected to need a mortgage. They thought they were going to sell by assignment. So I can't get a mortgage. They're definitely not closing. They're just walking away and waiting to be sued. Their deposits get grabbed up. But they're not closing. The people who could close, who could conceivably close on those new condos, they're getting a letter from their lawyer and say, hey, you got to close now. They might just say, you know what, those last two buildings didn't look like they closed, so maybe it's going to be okay not to close. I mean, it's getting popular. All right. And that's a really, really, really big problem. Once the idea of not closing becomes popular, because I'm losing money to close. Like, it's not worth what I paid for it, even close. Like, I paid $1,400. It's worth about $900 a square foot. Oh, and if I try to rent it because I paid so much, first of all, there's going to be an appraisal unless I get the famous blanket appraisal. If I get an appraisal, I'm going to have to cough up more money to close because it's going to come in at 1.1 or, $1,050 a foot. So I'm screwed. Or I'm going to lose so much money on the rent. Like, the rates are up, they've come off a little from the super highs of 6%. So you get a rate of like 3.99, but still with the maintenance fee and the property tax, I'm going to lose money every single month. I'm going to lose $1,000. I'm going to lose $1,200. I'm going to lose $1,400. Oh, and by the way, rents are coming down, and it looks like they will continue to come down for the immediate future, like for a year or two or three. So I'm doomed. The poor guy thinks I'm doomed. I might as well just walk away. And if enough of them walk away, eventually it's a kind of a collapse until prices get to the point where they're like $550 a foot, $600 a foot, and people can start making money again. But that could be years away. So yes, it will get much worse. No question about it. And the tariffs, the trade war, that has a bigger effect, magnified effect, because if people lose their jobs or they're worried about losing their jobs, they might want to sell. They might think, if I lose my job, or I have lost my job, I can't carry this house, I got to sell. So inventory starts to come on, and that's a snowball into price disaster. Okay. I'm not saying 416 is going to get in big trouble. Low rise, single family. We quit building single family years and years ago in the GTA. So it's a little scarce, but I'm telling you, this thing is looking bad, and it could get a lot worse.